So downstairs in the tavern area. That's actually where breakfast is served. So we go downstairs and we're having the wonderful chicken and waffles. It's fantastic.
So yes.
I don't know what the secret is to the fried chicken here, but it's so much better than KFC. And bam, mic drop. Other than I still need to use it. And yeah, who found the photo? We were all done.
I pointed it out to Darcy. She was talking about how everyone said, and as the word she used, a mulatto was that. And there was a story about, according to the history someone did, they had a picture of a lady next to Thaddeus Stevens' picture, and they said it was the woman that she ran around with, who some people said she was a business partner. Some people said it was more than that, depending on what people thought of Thaddeus Stevens, what they would call her. And but she was left a lot of money, so I mentioned that little bit of a story to Darcy.
Yeah, Darcy.
Yeah. And we were just talking about it, and I said, well, there's a picture of her over by the wall. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's based on Wikipedia and looking a little bit more about it. I don't think it was the lady that would have been with Thaddeus Stevens. But she pointed out, does it look like this lady? And everyone said, wow, that is her.
Yeah, it looks a lot like her. I can't say that it's definitely her. But the best part was that we found out the woman's name was Lydia.
Yeah, Lydia.
So I was close.
We were so close. And I was wondering why it was hitting so much on Lucella.
Yeah.
Because it's a unique name.
It is.
Yeah, and then Henry kept making sure it wasn't Drusella. You're the one that kept saying, it wasn't Drusella, wasn't it? I'm like, no, it was.
No, she was very emphatic that it was an L name.
Yeah, I kept seeing the not cursive script, but calligraphy script for an L. So it was definitely Lucella. And yeah, she wore a nice button-up shirt.
Yes, very, very well dressed. And she was very proud of her position and her clothing and the way she looked. And she held herself very erect, as though she knew where her position was and how high up in the household she was.
Now, I just wanted to let everybody know, because we have so many people that's going to be talking with us tonight and stories and things going on, we're probably not going to take a break.
Probably not.
Pretty much.
We're just zooming right through.
But
that's what I figured.
Barbara, where do we have listeners at tonight?
I have to scroll back to the list I just gave Jeff. We got listeners.
I can say it.
Go ahead, Jeff.
We have listeners tonight in the U.S., the U.K., Singapore, Australia, Ireland, and Manila.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, is that turned down?
And
Can you hear now?
What?
Can you repeat what you just said, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. We have listeners tonight in the U.S., the U.K., Singapore, Australia, Ireland, and Manila.
Okay, did you hear it this time?
Yes.
We figured out the headset.
Oh, they had the button turned
Yeah,
on?
we did.
Yeah, I had it down too low.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good then. Glad you could hear that. And I'm sure that Barbara will check back a little later or often and see if we even have more listeners from other places.
Yeah.
We didn't have them from the dark side of the moon tonight
not
for
from
some
unknown
reason.
this time.
Yeah,
What?
so, but they still might tune in, so who knows?
We know that from the instant we came here, things started happening. We should tell them about what happened to us the very first night.
Oh, yes, we should. And also, are you okay to hang out here for a while?
Yeah.
Or, okay. So, yes, Tina and I had... I'm going to say this place rolled out the red carpet.
Actually, can you give me a couple minutes? I want to take care of some stuff.
Yeah.
I want to get that open sign down.
Yeah,
Go
Tina
right
and I
ahead.
will tell
my
our story.
chef can plan on going home. Or...
Yeah. And then come on up whenever you're able to come back.
Yes, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Bye, Josh.
Okay, your story, and then we get...
Yes.
All right.
Someone else
So
up there,
this place rolled out the paranormal red carpet for us from the minute we walked in. And what was it? We
Thursday night, we were basically the only ones here.
Yeah, we were. But Henry and Patsy, and then Tiffany and Joe. Where did Tiffany go?
She went back downstairs.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
They surprised Tiffany and Joe surprised us here.
Yes,
that
we
was
didn't
wonderful.
think we were going to be able to be here.
Yeah. So everyone had a fun time. We socialized, and then around, I'm going to say 9 p.m., they left, and we went back to our rooms. Mm-hmm. And we weren't the only people staying in the inn, but we're the only part of our particular group at the inn at the time. And you are staying in which is the name? The Star Room.
Major Star something, yes.
Yeah, the Major Star Room, which is on the 3rd floor. And I am in the Grumble Jones Room, which is on the 2nd floor. The infamous Grumble Jones Room.
That's the room I was in last year.
Yes, it was. And you had people visiting last year.
Yes.
So
we come up the steps, and Kat's about to go into her room, and I'm going by.
Yes, we're just standing in the doorway chatting, saying our goodnights. And I look at the interior of the room, and I look back at Tina, and I go, there's a dude in here.
And I just went, okay.
Yeah. She's like, I know what to expect. I was here last year. So what I did was I unpacked my laptop, which is it's a Microsoft Surface Pro. And it's one of those where the keyboard comes unattached, and it does all sorts of somersaults and everything. And I got this distinct impression in this room that something was amazed by the fact that it was a large color, bright screen, and I was typing like a typewriter onto it. And I undo the keyboard, and I just kind of feel this gasp. And then I FaceTimed with my husband in the room to say, hey, I'm alive, everything's fine. And there was someone in the room, it was still this male entity, just flabbergasted that I was able to just talk to another person who clearly wasn't in the room, and he could hear it back. Hang up on FaceTime, clean up, get ready for bed, and then I watch my guilty pleasure, which is Korean dramas. And I got this feeling in the room of, that's not in English. And I remember just thinking back, yes, it's in Korean. And I have a Bluetooth headset on, so I'm not disturbing anyone else. And he's just like, you can hear it from there. There's no wires. And I'm like, yeah. And come on in, guys. So I'm done with the show. I put everything away. I get into bed for the night, and I'm like, okay, time to go. Out. Just go. Out. I don't let any ghost or entity stay in the room when I'm sleeping. Tina, take it away.
So I'm ready for bed. I'm sitting on the bed, and I'm playing a video game on my phone. And all of a sudden, there's a head at my shoulder, and it was a man. And there's this guy, and he's looking over my shoulder. He's watching everything on my phone. Now, I didn't react. I just let him watch, and all I heard was colorful. I was like, well, yeah. I said I keep my screen really bright. I like it that way. And he's watching, and I wait a few more minutes, and I go, can I help you? He goes, Kat sent me. And I'm thinking, did she send that guy up here to bug me? Well, a few minutes later, I went to bed, and I just said, okay, good night, you need to go. And that was it. So the next morning, I come down to breakfast. Kat's already there, and I look at her, and I said, did you send somebody up to me last night?
Yes. I just look at her, and I go, uh-oh.
So I start describing what had happened and what the man looked like, and I say one thing, Kat says another. Next thing you know, we realize we're describing the same male entity.
Yeah.
So this male entity now has a nickname. He's Techno Guy.
Yep. And
Techno Guy likes anything that has a big, bright, colorful screen.
Yeah, like this morning I was sending emails because I'm helping to coordinate this entire event. So I'm constantly... I'm probably annoying all of you now with the amount of emails and texts I'm constantly
I just delete them.
Oh, okay.
No,
You're just ignoring them outright. But I was writing another email saying this is where we're going to be. We're meeting up at this time and everything. And he came back. And he was just like, what you doing? Like, he's a very curious man. And I'm like, oh, well, I am mailing everyone. You know mail. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm mailing everyone simultaneously, and they will get it on their phones, which we can read the mail on. And he's like, no way. He's just completely stunned. I think he appreciates the fact that we're actually explaining how this technology is working.
Yes.
And relating it back to him. And the man's from about the turn of the 20th century.
Yeah.
And Edwardian era.
Mm-hmm.
And middle-aged.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think that I have ever been here that something hasn't happened.
Yeah. No,
So.
something. And, Kat and Well, Carrie's not going to talk, but we need to talk about what happened this morning, which delayed us about 20 minutes.
Yeah. All right,
Oh,
guys.
and Tammy.
I'm going to head out and hand over the microphone to somebody else.
Yeah. Tammy's come out. Come on back, Kat. Yes.
What, did it happen to her too?
Yes, it happened to all three of us.
Oh.
It happened to all of us.
Except me.
You weren't here, sir.
I missed out on all of it.
Oh, by the way, how was your bed and breakfast?
Fine. I never had any problems. Never felt nothing. Never seen nothing. And it's supposed to be the room that we're in is supposed to be haunted by a little girl.
Okay.
But we haven't seen her, heard anything. So I don't know. Patsy's there by herself right now. So
Listening to the show.
listening to the show. So I might hear all kinds of stories when I get back home.
Yeah, really. I'm curious. So welcome back, Tabby Cat.
Hello.
And Tammy.
Hello.
Yes.
Right.
So we had shenanigans happen to us this morning. That about half an hour's worth of shenanigans? Like lots of walking up and down.
Close to it. Well, first of all, last night, Tammy came up to me and she says, I can't get our door open.
Yeah, last night.
And the shock was, like, well, it's probably just stuck. Just push on it. And she says, it's not stuck. There's something wrong. It's locked or something. So I go up there and push on the door, and sure enough, it is indeed pretty well locked. It's not stuck. But I go ahead and push on it, and then I hear a distinctive click, and after I heard the click, I pushed on the door, and it opened.
Okay.
So it was almost like somebody opened the deadbolt.
Right.
They unlocked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the inside.
Yeah, and for our listeners out there, every single guest room in this building has two deadbolts. There's a top and a bottom. When you stay here, the only key you get is for the bottom deadbolt. The top one is for your security once you're in the room and you're supposed to lock it.
Right.
So none of us have keys to the second deadbolt.
Right. And then this morning, we were trying to get everything completely organized and get out on the battlefield and do what we needed to do. And I go to lock my door, and it flat out...
Well, you missed your keys first.
Well, I went to lock it, and when it didn't lock the first time, I thought, well, I'm just going downstairs to the breakfast room, so not worried about it. So I went back in the room, and I put my key on the dresser and walked away.
Okay.
And as we were getting ready to leave, Tammy's complaining again.
I was trying to get her attention, and she was too busy trying to find the key and walked down the steps and ignored me.
No, but she was saying it won't open. Our door won't open. It's locked again. It's locked again.
And I was smiling because I thought, I can't believe this is happening again. Everybody's going to think I'm crazy.
No, but after I walked back into my room to get the key to lock it, I could not find the key.
Yeah.
It was missing.
That's when I walked by.
And
by this time, I had grabbed Kat's attention and was like, somebody needs to come up here and make sure that I'm not the crazy one trying to open this door.
But then Josh had to open her door for her.
So, stopping you there, so the reason why I had walked past Kat and got the attention of Tammy was because I couldn't find my keys. And I'm looking everywhere. I look in my purse. I look on the table where I had been sitting. I look at the windowsill ledge where I had been sitting and could not find them. And I remember calling up to you, Kat, when you were trying to lock the door the first time. And I said, did I leave my keys in the door? Because I am famous for leaving keys in the door.
And I checked, and your keys were not in
there.
the door.
So I'm standing in the front foyer looking for my keys, and I finally found them just in a pocket of my purse, which I knew I had checked, and previously the phone had occupied it, and I don't know how. Yeah, so they just magically showed up. So something was playing with the keys.
Yeah.
And then Tammy asked me to go upstairs.
Wait, I must have to mention that I just walked down 3 flights of steps
Yes, 3
to
flights.
get the keys from my dad, which everybody knows Rock with the Shock is my dad, just so you all know. But anyway, so, so I went back up to 3 flights of steps to thought, okay, maybe they unlocked it because I previously said, can you unlock the door? It was still locked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And so we got a question from our audience. It says, do the doors swing in? It's against fire regulations. Yes, a lot of them, the original doors swing in, but the rest of them do swing out.
Right. So after I went back in the room to find the key and it was missing off of the dresser, I immediately started checking everything. I checked on the floor, around my purse. I double-checked my own pockets, you name it. And I just went over to the bed and I had thrown my my pajamas on the bed. I picked up my pajamas. They're underneath my pajamas.
So why is that so mysterious? You could have had the keys laying on the bed and you threw the pajamas on them.
Because she
No,
put them
because
on
the
dresser.
pajamas were already on the bed and I put the keys on the dresser.
Yeah. Oh, and I also will note that my microfiber cleaning cloth for my camera had been safely tucked inside my luggage, which had been closed, and I found it, it's bright orange, sitting in the middle of my room, like tucked like it was a little tent, like somebody had set it up. And I looked at it and I'm like, well, somebody is playing around with us today, because I had lost my keys.
I guess they couldn't figure out how to fold it into a swan.
I guess not. That would have been awesome. So I had lost my keys, Tabby had lost her keys, and
I was locked out.
and she and Tammy was locked out. So Tammy, I could hear crying from the top of the staircase, hey, can somebody come up and double check this? Because I remember distinctly Steve saying to her, hey, go upstairs and get your stuff. And you came down and you're like, hey, Dad, I'm locked out. And he's like, no, the door is stuck. Go try again. And yeah, I heard you go upstairs. And then I was upstairs and he said, hey, Kat, can you double check this door? I go up there and the dang thing was dead bolted. And you could see the shadow of the deadbolt through the crack of the door. And I sat there and I'm like, yeah, I don't know how you've managed it, but it's deadbolted.
And I said, can you go tell my dad, because he's going to think I'm crazy.
So, so I did let him know as I walked, and I found Josh, and I was like, hey, Josh. And he's like, what's up? And I'm like, we need the key to the deadbolt to the 3 colonels' room because it's locked itself. And he just looked at me, shook his head. He already had the keys with him. So he just walked right upstairs and opened the door. And with that, I think we were about 20 minutes late to meeting you at Devil's Den because of all the shenanigans.
Yeah.
That was our morning.
Yeah, and right after that, I tried to lock my room, and it would not lock.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It would not lock. And then we finally got it locked.
Yeah, I took the keys and locked it.
Yeah, and then when we got back this afternoon, I couldn't lock it again before I came up here, and Josh actually had to maneuver it, and it wouldn't lock for him either.
Oh, really?
And he kept saying, this door I've never had any problems with until you guys got here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Barbara, you got any questions? Jeff?
Not offhand.
Okay.
Although I did just find out that at 56 years old, Aaron Moran of Happy Days just died.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Oh, dear.
I'm like, all these people younger than me are dropping. What is going to happen?
Well, just keep standing up. You'll be okay.
Wow. Incredible.
All right. We need to get some others on here. Our time is, just shooting right on by, and we still got lots of people to talk with.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Don, why don't you come up here?
The threatening pointer finger of Henry's.
Hey, yeah.
I want to say hi, Nancy.
Come on. Yeah, no, you get up here and talk too. What do you mean, no?
Do it!
No, you have to get up here and talk.
It doesn't have to be too long.
Yeah.
I'm curious about how your day went.
Her date.
Day.
Oh.
Day. We need to pull together and get Henry some hearing aids.
What? Don't you start to. All right. Before we ask them, though, Nyla did respond to what we was talking about a while ago. She said she asked the little girl to listen into the show with her, but she hasn't seen anything. And so that's it. She's still trying to get the little girl to say something. Don, I want to thank you for coming down from Northern Ohio. And Nancy, you come from New Jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a lot of Jersey people here today.
Yes.
Where
we do.
in New Jersey?
A little town nobody's ever heard of called Mountain Lakes.
I grew up in Pompton Plains, so
Oh,
don't
get
tell me I don't know
out.
my
Get out.
Pompton Plains.
Yes. Don, you came from Northern Ohio, a little bitty town.
Yeah, Bryan, Ohio.
Yep.
And thanks for inviting me. This has been a good time.
Yeah.
I'm glad you've had a great time. And Nancy, this is Nancy's second time being with us. You was here at the David Stewart Farm with us last year. And I met you at the David Stewart Farm at a meet and greet.
At the Gettysburg, the Paranormal Gathering, yes.
And we did that, and I got your book, and we had you on, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And great book. And that was I Met a Ghost in Gettysburg. So have you met any other ghosts?
Well, my last trip in Gettysburg, I've been really intrigued with the spirit box based on my earlier experiences. And on Barlow's Knoll, we were kind of wandering around. I was trying out the spirit box. I tried to record it. I need to fine-tune that. It didn't work, but was asking, is anyone here? I got clear yes. So, well, what's your name? Christopher. Well, what's your full name, Christopher? Christopher couldn't understand it. I asked again and again, got like 3 times, couldn't understand it. So I thought, well, were you hit? He says, yes. I said, where were you hit? Unintelligible. I said, I'm sorry, Christopher, I couldn't understand you. Where were you hit? In the arm. Asked Christopher, where are you from? And I started rattling off the northern units, northern regiments. No response, no response. My friend who was with me thought, well, okay, that was a Georgia regiment that overran this position, maybe, or Georgia brigade, pardon me. He thought maybe he's from Georgia. So I said, are you from Georgia? I am, almost an insulted inflection to the voice. And then he seemed not happy with us, and we couldn't get any further response, but I found that one rather interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And you was in the basement to start with last night, Nancy?
Yeah.
And Don was too.
Yes.
Oh.
What did you guys find down there?
Honestly, I was not picking up anything down there. This has got to be, and I probably told you this, it's got to be one of the most active places that I know of. And I stayed here many, many years ago, like maybe 8 years ago, and had some of the most amazing direct confrontations in the room we stayed in with 3 different spirits.
Which room did you stay in? Do you remember?
Oh, yes, because... yeah. I did not know it at the time. It was the Jeb Stewart room.
Oh, okay.
And I was in there with my daughter, and I got woken up by somebody walking. I could hear the footsteps on right next to the bed, maybe 5 feet away, and I looked up in my mind's eye, without not my physical eyes. I immediately saw the person who I later learned was Jeb Stewart.
Okay.
I could describe him perfectly. He looked at me. He was as shocked as I was to see me looking at him, and neither one of us knew what to do. He froze. I froze. And, that was... So then I quickly closed my eyes. I didn't want to go... There was another spirit, a younger guy, pacing back and forth by the fireplace. And at some point about 5 in the morning, there was somebody pounding, and I mean pounding on the door. I could see the shadows of the feet underneath the door. I could hear the floorboards creaking. There was nobody in this entire inn because there was a huge snowstorm that night. There was one other couple. They were right next to us, and they were sound asleep. But anyway, I found out later that because I started researching who could that have been, and I said, oh, there was a plaque on the door. It said General Jeb Stuart. Good. I came back here several years later, and I said to the owner, I went up to look at that room, but there's no plaque on the door, that says General Jeb Stuart. And where's the plaque? And he said, oh, there was never, ever a plaque on that door. But that's how I identified him. So this is a crazy place. It's really
active.
It's very active.
And I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, nothing so much in the basement. Did you pick up on anything since you've been here?
Nothing. I have a hard time tuning in. To be perfectly honest, when there are a lot of people around, I tend to pick up on people's energies. So it's very, very difficult for me to, switch gears, so to speak, to tune into spirit. So to me, it's so clear to me that it's active. I can feel the energy. I mean, I could sit in various locations, and it's like my entire body is just vibrating with a huge amount of energy. But in terms of identifying specific spirits like I did back then, I didn't have that experience this time around.
Okay. Hey, Celine, have you?
I had a little connection downstairs in the basement, but it was fleeting. Generally, I had a sense that it had to do with the Underground Railroad. I very clearly saw a young black man in his late-ish 20s, maybe early 30s, with a white button down and suspenders, but it very quickly went away. And the K2 bleeped a little bit at that point, but that was it for me.
Okay. And that's interesting. I didn't know that the hotel was a stop on the Underground Railroad. And there is, up on this third floor, a little peekaboo window that has been cut out with some plexiglass, and you can see where escapees were stuffed, basically, to hide while, I guess, bounty hunters were around? Is that right?
Yes. There were stories, free blacks in Gettysburg people would try to abduct them and take them back into the city. Or back down into the south,
Yeah, that happened a lot all across the country. So it's really, and there's a very spooky photo that was taken about 2 years ago that we tried debunking, and we could not do it today. So Craig should talk about that.
Yeah,
and he's left again.
Craig,
yeah, he keeps leaving.
We need to get him up here.
Yeah, so Dawn.
I have not seen this photo, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, show it to you. It's interesting. Dawn, you and I went out to a place today.
Yes, to Little Round Top.
Yes, we did. And it was very interesting. It was kind of misting out. And Tiffany was here as well. We really should get Tiffany here. Where did she go? Oh. We have people constantly going in and out of this place. So So Dawn came up to Tiffany and I at lunch today, and we did the yearly pilgrimage to Tommy's Pizza for Henry. Correct?
I'm sorry, I was...
We did go to Tommy's.
What'd you say?
Earth to Henry.
Remember, you're on live radio, right?
I know, but I was...
What? What? Anyway, so during lunch, Dawn comes over to... Well, we were sitting at the same table. There was no coming over. But to Tiffany and I says, well, I want you two, who are mediums, to come with me and find my family members. And we go. And we get out of the car, and he looks at me and he goes, okay. And makes a hand motion, like, around little round top. And I look at everything and I'm like, all right, this is the first time. So I start walking up the hill because we actually, oh, what's up?
Henry's fading away.
Henry is literally fading away. Mike has just taken a photo.
Becoming translucent or something?
Yeah.
He's transparent.
He's kind of transparent. Yeah, Mike is showing me. He's taken a photo on Mike the Paranormal Man, which we have to have you come speak in a minute. Took a photo of Henry, and it looks like Henry is fading away into. Like we have accidentally, somebody has gone back in time and inadvertently erased Henry from history. That's what it kind of looked like. So anyway, I have never done.
It's all the jet lag.
It's all the jet lag. I have never done what Dawn has requested before. I believe Tiffany is a little bit more experienced with this particular side of mediumship. I just have dead people walk up to me and tell me their stories. I never actually go out searching for someone.
Yeah, I appreciated you guys doing that.
Yeah, it was a fun experience, and maybe we'll talk a little bit more about it when we get Tiffany on, if she's willing to talk, because this really is, like with Tina and I, this is a dual thing. But we found some interesting things.
Yeah, I was very impressed with how, especially Tiffany, was just keyed into what happened at Little Round Top and to the areas where I have felt a connection.
Mm-hmm. So, Nancy, you and Celine, where did you go today?
We went shopping.
Oh,
We went shopping.
Guilty as charged.
Okay, I did that yesterday, so I understand.
Yeah, you went to a cat diorama.
Oh, I also went to a cat diorama. I did all the things we haven't done before in previous trips. It's been fun.
Now, we had a good time. We looked at the rain, though. We said, oh, no, do we really want to go around all over the battle? I've been on this battlefield many, 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 many times. So I said, maybe shopping is sounding good today.
Yeah, but you are also staying at the David Stewart farm.
Yes.
How is that? Do you want to come up here? You can share a mic with me.
I'm sure she could explain
Okay.
much about it, but it is
So,
interesting. Yeah.
Well, so after, I think we must have left here, it must have been around 1:30 in the morning or so. Went back there, and we took the room that is supposed to be the room where they did the battlefield amputations and such.
Okay, that's where I stayed last year.
Yeah, I know. I know that. So, and I said, well, if she could do it, we could do it. So Celine immediately went to sleep pretty much, and okay.
We have a protest from the gallery.
And I was awake most of the night, and of course I'm listening for everything, and I'm watching everything, and I'm nothing till really I would say somewhere around 5 o'clock in the morning there was some banging that was going on. There were some strange, I don't know if it was the animals or what, walking around, but nobody came in to see us. Mm-hmm. We were fine. The only thing that happened today was that as we were talking, the lights went out.
Okay.
Did that happen to you?
No, not there. That happened to us at the Pry House. They came back on?
They came back on. I think that's interesting to mention.
Yeah, so, the animals at the place are very... Actually, the living animals, I'm going to preface this, are very chill and generally walk around and are pretty quiet.
Yeah.
The ones that have passed away and come back are the ones you need to watch out for.
Well, we had a group of them that decided they picked beds, so they were all over the place.
Yeah.
By the way, which reminds me, the thing that really annoyed me when I was doing the investigation yesterday or last night was that my recorder, which I had checked, it was fully charged, the whole business, and I turned it on, and that thing was dead as a doornail. Mm-hmm. I reloaded it, fresh batteries, dead as a doornail, wouldn't turn on. This never happened with that. Mm-hmm. Brought it back here tonight, turned it on, and it's on.
Oh,
no problem.
Works.
Oh, it's just and it reminds me a little bit about the story about the doors, because locking and deadbolting by themselves. And I've been to other locations where the spirits weren't really happy with the renovations that were going on, and they locked everybody out.
That's smart, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just like, that is a good trick.
But I sort of get the same feeling with the, when the batteries get drained out of different whatever you're using. It's almost like not just because they're pulling the energy, but sometimes I really get the feeling they just don't want you to be getting it down.
Right. Yeah. And where did you lose the energy for your recorder? Which room or area?
It was down, the main sitting room.
Yeah.
Where we were organizing. It was
in the front.
Yeah, and it was right off the bat.
Oh wow!
I mean, just done.
Yeah, my K2 meter. As soon as it walked into Tina's room, it died and it never came back.
Well, and somebody else's equipment died too.
Yeah, Darcy's equipment kept dying.
And then shortly after that, that's when my grid died.
Yeah.
It went.
Oh, so you had massive equipment failure up here. Okay. Good to know.
Right. Got drained as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like after the basement.
Oh.
Immediately.
Wow.
So, you guys both had good times then. Did you have a good weekend?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, I love this. I really appreciate being invited along. This is fantastic.
Well, sure. You guys are always invited.
And I agree. This was just a wonderful time. It's been very illuminating.
Wherever we decide we're going to do it and when. Bigger and better.
But we definitely have to come back here.
I was going to say, bigger and better than here.
Yeah, that's going to be hard. Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't always better.
So we'll decide where, when, and all the other good stuff. And eventually we might even try to set up like a fall thing too. I know I'm going to be at Hillview Manor in September. I'm not sure on the dates. It's kind of late September. They have a meet and greet. Or they call it HillCon. But people can set up there and sell or promote or whatever. And then after the show, you can go investigate. And have you ever been to Hillview Manor?
Never.
I have not either.
Okay.
I have.
Who? You have.
Yes,
It
it's
is.
fabulous.
It is a very active place.
Yeah.
And she's a witness to that too.
That'd be great.
So,
Yes.
but if we do something like that, we'll sure.
Yeah. So, moving on, I know a lot of our listeners have just noticed something, or now have piped up. Where's Pat? They noticed that Pat is not with us this year. Yes. So, Pat had a death in the family and was not able to join us this year.
Yes.
But in solidarity, Henry is wearing the Ghost Soldier's hat.
Yes.
And we do miss him. We miss him a lot, and I'm sure he would have had us hiking all over new locations in Gettysburg, and we would all have been terrified of getting ticks because there's a lot of tall grass.
Yes.
But we do miss you, Pat. We do.
And I want to thank you guys for actually taking time to come out. You and your daughter.
Oh,
Yes,
you're so
this
nice.
is wonderful.
Yeah, you guys are great. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
we
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yes.
And of course, we'll have you guys back again. You was great on the show. We've had you on the show. We've had most of the people that's here.
Yeah,
we have
we've had
had
on the show.
And
And they look so excited.
yeah. I don't understand how you guys want to keep coming back here to be with all
Neither
the
do we.
nuts.
Yeah.
Company.
We're good company, says Tammy.
But it
thank
seems
you.
like everybody has a
Or
great
Harry
time
being
ragging
the
on me.
bad
So
jokes.
Yep, we're roasting you hard this year, Henry.
Oh, in all seriousness, this is a great group of people, and I have had a wonderful time. Been a great learning experience for me.
Good.
Thank you.
excellent, appreciate it.
All right.
And let's see, we got Mike. We got a few
Mike.
minutes.
I can't find
Did
him.
you go outside and look for him?
My dad said he
If
texted
not,
me.
So we've
No, I
lost
can't.
Bigfoot
Oh, you
that we
Yeah.
know is Craig.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go
we
find
can
him.
sit back down for a few minutes and
Yeah, I was hoping
Oh.
to say hi to Craig.
Tammy.
yeah, hopefully.
Find Tiffany.
Fine, Tiffany.
Tiffany's not going.
No,
No.
Tiffany's done up one.
Want to talk?
No,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
because
we'll talk about the experience after. We'll let Josh back on,
Sure.
and then we'll come
By
back.
all means, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Josh, you're not on. You're on LinkedIn, but you're not on social media per se, like Facebook or Twitter. yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
You?
Yes, I'm on Facebook.
I can't find you.
I usually keep it a little hidden. I had bosses in the past try to stalk me and stuff, and you know, I mean, they knew before the interview that I liked Star Wars and commented about that all the time. And it was a little awkward going into an interview and someone's like, "We know you."
Yeah.
You can have some respect in that I love the Star Wars trilogy and the original AT-AT Walkers and Empire Strikes Back, but, you know, everyone occasionally makes a bad mistake, and Jar Jar
letting Lucas take over the storyline again.
Yeah. At least we got movies.
No George Bassing.
Yeah. I can't get Carrie. She won't come in and talk with me. But we do have.
Come on over here.
We have Craig. We're going to talk with Craig. You know, we only have 2 hours, and try to get a lot of time for everybody. It's almost impossible. But we're trying to get everybody on, at least to talk some. And since Josh is our host, I guess we've had him on probably the most. But since Pat wasn't here, we had somebody else who everybody knows who has co-hosted our show. He was a co-host here, and he does come in from time to time, and we try and get him back. And it's Craig Rupp. So
how's everybody doing? I kind of feel like Matt Damon. Oh, hey, no, our time's up.
No, your time's not up yet. But we want to thank you for actually taking people out and showing them some different places and leading us around today. You didn't get to investigate last night. Are you going to investigate tonight with us?
We've been investigating the whole time. So
already?
We already got some great EVP. So
I don't believe you.
As soon as you know. Well, we got 5 minutes left? Yeah.
No, we got about 8 minutes.
No, we got some great EVPs while you guys were doing the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. Where'd you get them
I think Carrie should come over here and talk about it. Because they were...
What's this no?
Little Don't be Mike Shy.
I didn't hear you. What?
Oh, wait, actually.
I don't wanna.
By the way, Craig?
Yes, Jeff.
Michelle Browning in the chat room says hi. As do I, of course.
Michelle, hello. Thank you for all your help. And Jeffrey, you know what I'm talking about.
Woohoo!
And I hope to see you soon, buddy.
I'm still waiting for a package in the mail.
No, you will get it. I'm waiting on something, and Michelle knows why. So.
Wow.
This has been really fun showing you guys around, and I've actually learned some things. We were at Sachs Bridge and the Shriver House today, and Henry showed us how they originally built the bridge back in the day.
He helped build it, didn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
He was explaining all that to us, and it was very interesting. Then we went to the Shriver House, and he was telling us how him and George built the bar. Very interesting.
I think it was very well done.
Yes.
The only thing in the building was plumb.
As I told him, it took me a little longer because I couldn't get the nails from Craig. That fixed you, didn't it?
My headphones are falling off.
So you're going to investigate with us tonight and help maybe get some activity going. And you say it's already ramped up. Where was you guys investigating at?
The second floor, the quiet. There's a room back there. I don't know the name of it.
It's probably the 1757 suite. It's away from everyone else.
Yes, it's very quiet back there, and we got some great EVPs. So,
if the room is away from people, was it like the servants' quarters?
It was the original part of the house. The house was built in various phases. The original part of the house was built in 1757. Then the main portion of the house, where we have 5 of the guest rooms, the tavern, and the tavern was built between 1786 and 1801. And that area, the two houses were connected with between like a wooden hallway, from what I can tell from pictures that have existed then. That area was kind of taken down, and a new dining room was built in the 1970s. But it's a little bit farther, it's a little bit quieter and away from people, so it's a great room to get activity from without having interference from other people.
We were actually, and we all, Joe, we all heard footsteps, and it's on wood, and it's carpet back there. So we also got that tonight. So
Yeah.
I've had that happen before in a place that I investigated. It was an old barn converted into a studio, and upstairs where the loft was at is carpeted. And I wasn't up there 15 minutes just asking questions because Patsy was downstairs taking painting classes. And I asked, what's your name? Didn't get no name, but all of a sudden you hear footsteps going across the floor, about 7-8 footsteps, and then it stopped and you hear a, hey. And the thing about it was when you go back and listen to the recording, it's boots on hardwood floor, but it's all carpeted up there.
That's cool.
So, in that room, I've had people put that. One morning, me and a guest put his EVP recorder in that room. Came down for breakfast. Came back. We had some EVPs, and then he went back to play them again, and they deleted.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. Wow.
That's what happens when you don't bring, breakfast up for your ghost.
Yeah, they were craving eggs Benedict that morning.
So we got Mike with us too, and Mike, you was with us year before last.
Yes,
right?
I was.
And where did we go to year before last? Just out on the battlefield, or?
Yes, we went around the battlefield, and we had a pretty good time doing that. And of course, we were at Mr. G's ice cream parlor.
We did the show from there, right?
And they were active there even during the show, which we all had a great time doing.
Well, great. And you was with us last night.
Yes.
You did the basement?
I did the basement, and I was using my flare quite a bit down there. There seemed to be something like trying to come up out of the floor, but it didn't come all the way out and kept returning. So there's some activity down there, and I haven't reviewed totally the audio and the video I took down there. So I'm hoping to have something there, and I also did some work with the 1757 room.
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't looked at that at all yet, so I'm hoping I got something there because I had a feeling that was going to be active since it's off in a secluded area of the building.
Yes, we're going to investigate it. We're going to take Tina.
All right.
And see what's down there.
Yeah.
All
That ought to turn out real good.
Well, we got Tiffany up here too.
Yeah.
Did you want to call?
That was deer in headlight look.
I say what?
It's fine. But yeah, I do want to share this story with Dawn and Tiffany. I'm sorry, Mike and Josh.
That's all right.
Do you mind?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, let's thank them because
Yes, thank
our time
you.
is running down real
Yeah,
quick.
it is. That's why I want to share
We do
the
want to
story.
thank you guys for actually being with us.
Yes.
Always enjoy it.
Yes.
Always
I want to
enjoy being
thank
here.
you for having us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, and we'll see if, when we're working something else back out here. So we're down to about 12 minutes.
Yes.
So, and you guys, where was you guys at when this was supposed to happen?
We were on Little Round Top, and we
Was
just,
that today?
Yes, this was today. So when your group went to the museum, Dawn, Joe, Tiffany, and I went to Little Round Top. And as we had mentioned earlier in the show, Dawn had approached both Tiffany and I and said, I would like you to find family members for me. You did not give us names.
No,
You did not give us a location besides Little Round Top.
Correct.
You drove us there, opened the doors, and went and go.
And then I just stepped back and watched.
Yes.
Sounds like a weird, amazing race task.
It kind of was. So immediately I'm walking up to Little Round Top, and that's the famous, really well photographed place. I know Craig takes a lot of photos from up there. It's that large hill, and it has a castle-like structure on it. And I'm walking towards it, going up the hill, and something pulls me to the right down a bike path that I've really never noticed before. And I'm like, well, that's Little Round Top, because I'm a dumb tourist, and that's the only place I know it being called Little Round Top. And
what about Confederate Avenue?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, Confederate Avenue. The Ballad of Confederate Avenue.
Opposite sides of the battlefield there.
Yeah, we didn't realize it was as long and winding as it was, and we ended up sending you to the opposite side of the national park.
Yes, but you got to experience Oak Hill that way.
Yeah. It was worth it.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's why it took you a little bit longer to get there. Now, when you got out of the car, did you immediately go up the bike path, too?
Yes, only for the fact that you said, hey, come up the bike path. It's paved. I said, okay.
Yeah, because initially I think you were eyeing this little footpath kind of snaking up the hill and with the water and the rocks.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't want anyone slipping down the slide. So, yeah, I was told by spirit guides going, you want to go right, and I'm like, but I want to go up there, and they're like, no, you want to go right down this bike path, and that's when you arrived. And I backtracked.
You had said that you had pointed down over to where we pulled up, and I was like, yes, we know how to make an entrance.
Yeah, it was really good, but ironically that's not who I was pointing at. You just happened to arrive at that time.
See?
Yeah, it was
you called and I came. No, just
yeah.
kidding.
I sent out the Tiffany signal. So, what happened? We were walking down.
I let you go first.
Yeah.
Because it's hard being two mediums next to each other, because each person will pick up on the same things, will pick up on different things, but the energy is just too much sometimes. And, mediums tend to like to work separately because we can relay information off of each other after the fact, and it's hard to do conjointly.
Yeah.
So I tried to give you all some space, and then you came up behind us. I was like, okay, well, I think we can do this together.
Yeah, we did. We did
I know.
it together.
Go team.
Yay!
Yes, you did a great job.
So what did you find?
William. So that was the first one we found.
Mm-hmm.
So Don did not give us any hints, and I will say I have no idea what his family lineage is, other than somebody was there.
And thank you for your family's military service. We appreciate that.
Thank you so much, sir. So you just said, find family members for me. And I'm walking, and immediately I ping on a guy named William. And he's like, I'm down this embankment, past this wall. And I just go directly there. And you could feel the energy was different on that part of the bike path. And I go down there, almost like a dense static is how I feel it. And I go down there, just like, I'm going to say a bloodhound. I go one direction, know I'm going the wrong way, so I backtrack and go the other way around, and I just lead you to this wall with a tree that's about 3 feet away from it. And I said, it's not this wall, but he's just beyond this wall, and his name is William. And you just looked at me with the look that you're giving me right now, which is, okay.
Yes.
And then I look at Tiffany, and I'm like, and now you.
And that's really how she did it.
Yeah.
And I walked further down the wall because I kept being drawn to the specific rock next to a tree. I know we're in a battlefield of rock, wall, tree.
There are so many
Who
rocks
knows?
here. So many rocks and
but
boulders.
I kept feeling like I was a sharpshooter, and I was aiming for the trees across the way, and that we were like the stopping point. Like, nobody can come across this wall. I have to just pick off everybody I see. Like, this is the final destination. And there's people operating behind me and all of these things. And I was telling all of this, and he's nodding and agreeing. And then across the wall, I kept seeing Confederates, but it wasn't just Confederate soldiers. It was really like the colors blue and gray. Yep. There was no distinguishable person. Where Kat got William, which was awesome. I got a guy named Josh, which I had no idea who this Josh was. And I was like, I'm sure this doesn't pertain to you, and I don't know who he is, but he's giving me all this random information, so I feel like he's important enough to address. Come to find out, it was Joshua Chamberlain.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
No idea who or what he did, but
Colonel Chamberlain.
Yep. I think Pat would be happy.
But this kind man here corroborated all the stuff that I was getting because he was saying that his ancestors breached the line, and Josh Chamberlain was like, they most certainly did not. What did he say? They overran the line. They didn't breach my line. I'm like, well then, okay.
And technically, I guess he is right. It was just a very intermingled, very chaotic fight.
But you also pinged on somebody else. Next to the boulder that was his family member.
Oh, yeah, the guy that was on the rock with what I thought was signaling aircraft. He was actually a signaler for the Army trying to direct people in battle movements. And I had no idea what he was doing. I was like, he trying to land aircraft? And
I will say he was kind of flying, like his arms are
it was very hectic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I'm just like, what are you doing?
The variant of the chicken dance?
That's
What's going on?
That's the way they do it.
And he was letting people know, like, this is where you need to be, focus energy over here. And then other people were running through the woods. And I remember one time I was like, they're really spaced out. What is going on?
Yeah. So this was the interesting thing. So Tiffany finds Chamberlain, and she backtracks immediately to this boulder where this gentleman is doing his flag motions. And Dawn just looks at me and mouths, wow. Because you had hit exactly where his family had been.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
No, because you were so far in front of us, and
you made a beeline to. The last time I was here, I had felt an energy that guided me to that exact spot. I later researched the information. My great-great-grandfather was captured, a member of the 15th Alabama, and in the battle line, his company initially would have been right there on the line.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yay, validation.
So this is the second time you've gone beelining in front of somebody, and somebody has turned to me and gone, wow, she's a really good medium.
I mean, I can't take any credit for it. I talk to dead people.
Yeah.
I talk to dead people.
I mean, honestly, that's where all the information comes from. So it would be very rude of me to say, like, yes, it's all me. It's not. But your ancestors were wonderful, and
they were very helpful.
I'm glad Josh Chamberlain showed up. Honestly, I should probably do research on him because he just showed up on a pony, and I was like, oh, pony. And I had no idea who he was or what he did, and apparently he held a line for a reason.
So William.
And I want to make a note. The William Kat referred to, I had a great uncle in the 47th Alabama, which was to the left of the 15th Alabama, where she keyed in on William is where the 47th would have fought. I actually had two Williams who were great uncles.
Wow.
Another was at Devil's Den. He was not at Little Round Top, but one was. And what is really strange is I had never felt an energy there, but just before you said William, I was feeling a very rather intense energy.
Yeah.
And then you said William right after that. Oh, okay, that you keyed into something very important to me.
Yeah.
What was the other name I got? Was it Jacob?
It was
Johnson,
Jacob.
Something? Jacob?
Well, we also, Dawn asked other family names, and I went Johnson, and you went Jacob. And we have...
We're almost out of time.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to thank everybody who's participated in this event this weekend. Traveled a long way. I just hope everybody's had a great time. Everybody is going to want to do it again when we get something set up. We don't know where, but once we figure something out, we'll be letting people know so you can make plans. A lot of the people's already gone out. They're probably already investigating, but I do want to thank everybody for taking the time to be here. Great show. The show will be put on podcast. It'll be up on Podomatic. It'll be up on our site, theparanormalview.com. You can listen to it again, whenever. And eventually, hopefully, we'll get it put up on YouTube. It takes a little while for me to get that put up.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate everything. Our time is running out.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for being here in the chat room and listening tonight. We've had a wonderful time this weekend. We've still got to investigate some tonight. Did we have somebody for next week?
I
you
don't
notice?
have them off the top of my head, but after we get off tonight, we are doing a second night of investigating of this place, and I know there's already activity going on while we were doing the show. So, and
I didn't hear anything on my headset.
Well, it wasn't in here. It was in a different part of the building.
So with that, we are going to say goodnight, and want to thank everybody again. Anything you guys got to say, holler it out real quick, because we are signing off. And this is Henry Foister,
Jeffrey Gould,
Barbara Duncan,
and Kat Klockow, and
Arvin Farquharst.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. We'll see you guys next week. You've been listening to the Paranormal View on the ParaX Radio Network. Join us again next week at the same time for more of the Paranormal View. You've been listening to the Paranormal View on the ParaX Radio Network. Join us again next week at the same time for more of the Paranormal View.